The truth about 10,000 steps, what seniors really need to know. For years, we've all heard it, 10,000 steps a day. It's been printed on fitness trackers, repeated by doctors, and shared like gospel among friends. But what if I told you that for seniors, especially those over 65, this number might be doing more harm than good? Now, I know that may sound surprising. After all, walking is good for the heart, right? That part is still true, but here's the catch. More isn't always better, and pushing for 10,000 steps every single day may actually put unnecessary strain on your body, especially if you're managing joint pain, fatigue, or heart conditions. The good news? You don't need to reach that magic number to protect your heart. In fact, today we're going to uncover why just 3,000 steps a day, yes, only 3,000, could be the sweet spot for your heart health, your energy, and your long-term well-being. We'll look at what the latest science says, hear from real seniors who've made the change, and explain how this simple shift can reduce your risk of heart trouble without exhausting your body. This isn't about doing less. It's about doing what's right for you, because your heart doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to keep moving in a way that feels good and sustainable. If you're ready to break free from the pressure of step count goals and start doing what truly supports your heart, you're in the right place. And before we begin, if you care about protecting your heart as you age and you want simple, practical health tips designed specifically for seniors, make sure to follow this channel. New videos every week, all tailored to keeping your heart strong and your life full of energy and joy. Now let's find out why 3,000 steps might just be the best health decision you'll make this year. Where did 10,000 steps even come from? Let's go back to where it all began. The idea that we all need to walk 10,000 steps a day didn't actually come from doctors or scientists. In fact, it started as a marketing idea. Yes, marketing. Back in the 1960s, a Japanese company released a step tracking device. They called it manpoke, which means 10,000 step meter. The number sounded simple, catchy, and powerful. And over time, it caught on across the world. But here's the thing. There was no real medical research behind it. No study ever proved that exactly 10,000 steps a day is what your heart needs, especially not for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. Now, that doesn't mean walking is bad, not at all, but it does mean that chasing that specific number might not make sense for everyone, especially if you're older and your body has different needs. Think about it. If you've ever felt discouraged because you couldn't hit 10,000 steps or pushed yourself when you were tired or sore, you're not alone. Many seniors have felt that pressure too, and it's not fair because your health journey shouldn't be based on a number made up to sell pedometers. This is where we start to shift the conversation. Instead of following a goal that was never meant for seniors, what if we asked a better question? What does your heart actually need to stay strong as you age? That's exactly what we'll explore next. What the latest science says about how much walking truly benefits your heart and why you might not need as many steps as you think. What science really says about walking in your heart. Now that we know the 10,000 step goal didn't come from doctors, let's talk about what medical research actually shows, especially for people over 65. And here's where things get interesting. Over the past few years, several major studies have looked at how walking affects heart health in older adults. What they found may surprise you. You don't need 10,000 steps to see big improvements. In fact, benefits start showing up around just 2,000 to 4,000 steps per day. That's it. For example, a well-known study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed thousands of older adults. The people who walked more than 3,000 steps per day had significantly lower risks of heart disease, stroke, and early death compared to those who walked less. But here's the key point. They didn't need to walk 10,000 steps to see those benefits. Most of the heart protection came at much lower step counts. So why does this matter for you? Because if you've been thinking, I'll never hit 10,000 steps, or maybe walking just a little isn't enough, the science says otherwise, every step truly counts, especially when you do it regularly and without overexertion. Even a 20 to 30-minute walk each day, broken into short, gentle sessions, can help lower blood pressure, support healthy cholesterol levels, and reduce inflammation in your body, all of which protect your heart. The best part? Walking at your own pace is enough. You don't need to move fast or sweat buckets. Just staying consistent is what makes the difference. So if you've been worried that you're not doing enough, take a deep breath. You're likely already doing more good for your heart than you realize. And in the next part, we'll show why 3,000 steps a day may be the perfect target for most seniors, based on both science and real-life experience. Why 3,000 steps may be the sweet spot after 65. Let's pause for a moment and think about what life feels like after 65. The body moves a little slower, joints can feel stiff, energy might not last all day, and pushing too hard, even with good intentions, can lead to soreness, fatigue, or even injury. That's exactly why 3,000 steps a day has become a more realistic and heart-healthy goal for many seniors. It strikes the right balance. Not too little to miss the benefits. Not so much that it overwhelms your body. To put it simply, 3,000 steps is about 1.5 miles. For most people, that's roughly 30 to 40 minutes of walking in a full day. And the best part, you don't have to do it all at once. A few minutes in the morning, a stroll after lunch, and another short walk in the evening, it all adds up. This level of movement helps keep your blood flowing. It encourages better circulation, improves oxygen delivery to your heart, and even helps regulate your blood pressure. For those managing conditions like type 2 diabetes or high cholesterol, this amount of walking can also support better numbers without stressing the body. But beyond the numbers, there's something else that matters just as much: how it makes you feel. Walking 3,000 steps a day is sustainable. It fits into a real-life routine. It doesn't leave you drained or defeated. Instead, it builds confidence. You move more, you breathe deeper, you feel in control. And that's the secret. Health isn't about chasing a number. It's about creating habits that keep your heart strong while respecting the body you have today. In the next section, we'll talk about what happens when seniors push too far and try to hit step counts that aren't right for them. Because yes, there's such a thing as too much walking, and the risk might surprise you. The hidden dangers of overdoing it. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: the risks of doing too much. Yes, walking is good for your heart, but when you push your body past its limits, especially after 65, the benefits can quickly turn into problems. You see, many seniors hear the message, move more, and take it to heart, but they often feel pressured to walk farther, longer, and faster, chasing that 10,000 step goal even when their body's asking them to slow down. And that pressure can come at a cost. Overwalking can lead to joint pain, especially in the knees and hips. It can trigger swelling in the ankles or cause muscle fatigue that lingers for days. And for people with balance issues, long walks on uneven surfaces can increase the risk of falls, one of the most dangerous threats to older adults. And then there's the strain on your heart. If you're recovering from heart issues or managing high blood pressure, pushing too hard can spike your heart rate or leave you feeling dizzy and breathless. This isn't about laziness. It's about knowing when your body needs rest just as much as it needs movement. Doctors today are beginning to speak more openly about this. They're reminding seniors that more is not always better. Instead, they encourage smart movement, gentle walking that respects your energy levels, your joints, and your overall health. So if you've ever felt guilty for not walking as much as someone younger, let that guilt go. Your heart doesn't need extremes. It needs consistency, balance, and kindness. In the next section, we'll look at how easy it can be to reach 3,000 steps each day without even trying, by making small changes that fit naturally into your life. Because healthy habits don't have to be hard. They just have to make sense for you. How to reach 3,000 steps without even trying. Here's the good news. Hitting 3,000 steps a day doesn't mean carving out a big chunk of time or going to the gym. In fact, the easiest way to stay active after 65 is to weave movement into your regular day, gently and naturally. Let's start with something simple. Instead of sitting for long periods, try getting up every hour and walking around the house for just 3 to 5 minutes. Go check the mailbox, take a lap around the living room, or refill your water in the kitchen. These short, gentle bursts of movement add up without tiring you out. If you enjoy being outdoors, even a quick stroll in the morning sunshine or an afternoon walk to look at the flowers can lift your heart and your mood. You don't need to power walk or break a sweat. Just move at a pace that feels good, where you can still hold a conversation without getting out of breath. You can also make walking part of your favorite daily routines. Try walking in place while watching TV or listening to the radio. If you enjoy phone calls with friends or family, walk slowly around the house while you talk. These little habits can quietly add hundreds of steps each day without you even noticing. And here's something many seniors forget. Chores count too. Tidying the house, sweeping the porch, watering plants in the yard, all of these movements benefit your heart. You don't have to separate exercise from daily living. In fact, blending the two is often the best approach. The most important thing to remember is this: you don't have to do it all at once. You don't need fancy shoes, a stopwatch, or a perfect plan. What you do need is consistency. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. That's how real progress is made. And when you finish the day knowing you've moved, even just a little, your body will thank you. Your heart will beat a little stronger, your joints will stay more flexible, and your confidence will grow. Next, we'll hear from real seniors who made this shift, who stopped chasing 10,000 steps and found their health improving in ways they never expected. Their stories might just sound a lot like yours. Real stories, seniors who got healthier with fewer steps. Sometimes the best motivation doesn't come from research or statistics. It comes from real people. People just like you, who decided to make a small change and discovered it made a big difference. Take Mary, for example. She's 72 and lives alone in a quiet neighborhood. For years, she tried to hit 10,000 steps a day because she thought she had to, but it always left her feeling drained. Her knees would swell, and she often needed days to recover. Eventually, her doctor suggested a different approach. Focus on 3,000 gentle steps a day, spread throughout the day. Now Mary starts her morning with a 10-minute walk on her porch, adds a few trips around the kitchen while cooking, and ends the day with a peaceful walk in her yard. Her blood pressure has dropped, her legs feel stronger, and most importantly, she feels proud of what she can do. Then there's James, 68, who used to be a marathon runner in his younger days. After a mild heart scare, he found that his body just couldn't handle intense exercise anymore. At first, he resisted slowing down, but when he started focusing on consistency instead of distance, everything changed. Just 20 to 30 minutes of relaxed walking each day, sometimes while listening to music or talking to his wife, helped stabilize his heart rate, reduce stress, and bring joy back into movement. And let's not forget Linda and Robert, a couple in their 70s who turned walking into a shared routine. They aim for 3,000 steps each day together, strolling through their local park, chatting about the news, or simply enjoying the fresh air. Walking isn't a chore for them. It's become a bonding moment, a way to stay close while staying healthy. What these stories have in common is simple: a shift in mindset. Letting go of big numbers, letting go of pressure, and choosing instead to move in a way that fits their life today, not 20 years ago. Their results aren't just physical. They sleep better. They feel steadier on their feet. And they're more confident in their ability to take care of themselves, one small step at a time. Up next, we'll explore what many doctors now recommend for seniors when it comes to walking and heart health, and why you might be closer to your heart goals than you think. What doctors are now recommending for seniors? For a long time, the advice around walking was one size fits all. Just walk more, and you'll be fine. But today, doctors who specialize in heart health and aging are changing the message. They're saying something many seniors need to hear. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what's right for you. Cardiologists and geriatric specialists are now encouraging older adults to walk in a way that supports the heart without pushing the body too far. And what they're finding is that 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day is often the perfect range for most people over 65. This amount helps improve circulation, keeps the heart muscle strong, and supports stable blood pressure, without wearing down your joints or draining your energy. Doctors also emphasize something else that's important. How you feel matters more than the number on your step counter. If a certain pace makes you feel lightheaded or tired, it's okay to slow down. If you feel pain in your knees, it's okay to rest. Your heart doesn't benefit from pushing through discomfort. It benefits from regular, gentle movement that feels safe and steady. In fact, many physicians now recommend spreading steps throughout the day rather than walking in one long stretch. Just a few short walks spaced out, like 5 minutes every hour, can do wonders for heart function, balance, and even mood. Some doctors even encourage tracking steps only if it helps you stay motivated, not because you have to hit a specific number. And more of them are reminding seniors that housework, gardening, and simply staying on your feet all count as valuable movement. What matters most is consistency, doing something every day, listening to your body, and celebrating the progress you make, no matter how small. In the final section, we'll bring it all together. Because your heart doesn't need perfection, it just needs you to keep moving with care, kindness, and confidence. Your heart doesn't need 10,000 steps, it just needs you to keep moving. So what have we really learned today? That walking is one of the best things you can do for your heart, but you don't need to chase big numbers to get big results. For seniors, especially those over 65, 3,000 steps a day can be more than enough. It keeps your blood flowing, supports your heart, strengthens your muscles, and lifts your mood without exhausting your body. And perhaps even more important, it gives you a goal that feels possible, not overwhelming. This isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of the pressure that doesn't serve you. You're not competing with anyone. You're building habits that honor where you are in life, not where you used to be. So the next time you see that step tracker blinking at you, remember, your heart doesn't care about hitting 10,000. It cares that you moved today, that you got up, stretched your legs, and gave your body what it needed, gently, patiently, and with love. If this message spoke to you, if it helped you breathe a little easier, or rethink the way you move each day, I invite you to follow this channel. We share heart health tips made just for seniors, simple, practical, and full of encouragement. Take a few steps today, even just around your home. Let them be enough. And remember, your heart is cheering you on every step of the way.